Hey everybody, welcome to the iProv vlog. This is Jordan Smith. As always, I've got with me Patrick Laughlin. Hey Pat.
Hey Joe.
Today we wanted to talk about something a little bit different. We want to talk about how to make your business anti-fragile. Pat, tell us what we mean when we say that.
Well, so I wish that this was an idea that I came up with, but it's not. You know, it's something that it was a really great book that came out a couple of years ago called Anti-Fragile, and it talked about personal development book, but it talked about the difference between fragility, resilience, and then this concept of being anti-fragile. And everybody talks about wanting to be more resilient, but the book's sort of thesis was you really want to be anti-fragile. And anti-fragility is basically resilience where you get better because of the hard circumstances, which I love. I mean, hard stuff is going to happen to everyone.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if we're in the middle of a pandemic or if it's just a normal year, especially in our business. There are lots of people in our business that have one monster client that generates all of their income, or they're so specialized in one industry that if the worst thing possible happens, they're really stuck. And I think that it makes sense. I mean, I get the argument for that kind of specialization or vertical integration, but man, you are making something very, very fragile when you tie your whole business to one income stream that is sort of easily shut down when bad things happen. So, it's just sort of this idea that, I think every business owner, even if they have a very particular specialty, should always be looking for new ways to generate income or new markets to go after. That's sort of the idea of anti-fragility. What do you think about that, Joe?
No, I agree. I know, like right now, we're talking even internally as iProv, but to our clients and just trying to look at stuff to be more creative about how we bring in revenue. Especially right now with all the COVID stuff going on. I know that's a big deal where we're talking about a self-paced Vista course. We've got a gym client you were talking about before we hit record, Pat, a really good story of one of our current clients and how they made themselves less fragile. Talk about that a little bit. Yeah.
Well, so we have a gym client and they're reliant on their members paying the dues each month. But when the gyms can't be open and the government says you have to shut down, how do you keep your employees on the payroll? How do you keep paying your rent? So they had a brilliant idea, and I was lucky to sort of be a part of helping them build out the program of taking the assets that they already own, the gym equipment that they could do this with, because professional gym equipment is different than the gym equipment that you put in your home for the most part. But there is a lot of stuff that you can take from the gym and put in your house. So right when this happened, everyone who loved to exercise was buying up home exercise equipment, and they saw an opportunity to start a rental business with their existing gym equipment. It's really smart. Now they have this second income stream on top of member dues. The other thing that they did is they looked for licensable content that they could change what their membership is. And that's something that I think that they'll continue after the gyms reopen. And so now they've got a library of branded videos that they can sell as an online-only membership. I just think it's really smart to look at other ways to generate revenue that aren't your, sort of the thing that you were built for. As a way to sort of make you an anti-fragile business.
I like that concept a lot. I mean, how many organizations are out there that we talk to that are kind of always hunting that big giant whale, And yeah, that one big client's great, but man, Sometimes, well, not sometimes, most of the time they're really disruptive. They're hard to get. They take a very long time. And then once you get them, you're always scared to death about them walking out the door. So diversify a little bit, be creative, find some different ways to make yourself an anti-fragile business. I love this concept, and I'm going to order this book too, because I think it's a really great idea, especially for now.
Well, and just another example, we saw some of the local distilleries in our town, and I know that they weren't the only ones that realized that they had a product that they could manufacture that would be helpful, that would also generate revenue. Now, some of them gave it away. They turned, basically the alcohol they were producing for whiskey and other beverages into hand sanitizer. And I don't think that they were out there making a giant profit on that hand sanitizer. I don't think that they were taking advantage of a pandemic to, sort of be robber barons. But it's a very smart way to diversify your income streams.
Absolutely, yeah. We're doing it too in a business where we're trying to convince people to pay us for our brains. We're splitting that off into its own separate service and say, hey, we're just going to start creating this content and you can watch it and go down this self-paced version if you don't want to actually have us in the room or you don't want to pay for us to be in the room. So. Well,
that's the other side of it, Joe, is that, we have a lot of talented people on staff with very, very good brains. And the truth is, there's only so many hours in the day, there's only so many conversations we can have, and there's only so many people that we can touch.
Yep.
And I think that any business that's got the kind of sort of brain power available that we have is actually doing the world a disservice not to share more of it to as many people as they can. And that's where the idea of us sort of building this course or way for us to share our thinking with the world came out of. Not only does it make us more anti-fragile by diversifying our income streams, it actually allows us to sort of disseminate a way of thinking that's been very successful to us out into the world. So I'm excited about getting that going. I'm excited to talk more about that as we sort of have things to put out into the world. So we're taking our own medicine here. We're trying to be more anti-fragile.
Yep. So, well, I love it. And I think that's a good message, especially for today. So if there's different things that you guys are out there that are watching or listening that are doing to kind of make yourself less fragile, a comment below with it. I would love to be able to hear some different examples and find out what you guys are out there doing. So, all right. Well, Pat, I love it. I think that's a great message for today. Thanks so much.
You bet. Good to see you, Joe.
All right. Until next time, iProv vlog out.